Hey guys, Rick here, and if you're watching this video, that means you're like me and you bought a Light O Rama controller and you sit down at your computer and you got it all set up and you realize you don't know what the hell you're doing. That was me, and that was me recently. So the purpose of this video is to share some tips and techniques on how to get started, especially specifically with the Light O Rama software, because what I found is that it's intuitive once you get started, and once you play around with it and know what to do, it's actually pretty easy and simple to use. But getting to that point isn't the easiest thing. I have a PhD in communication. I'm a college professor for a living, and I'm telling you, it took me a while to find the pieces and figure this out. I've watched countless hours of YouTube videos, read through PDF tutorials, etc. And what I found is I've been a little bit disappointed that you buy these controllers, you pay the additional 50 bucks for the Light O Rama software kit, and there's just not a lot of information about how to get started. So I was a little late to the game. I'm not new to Christmas lights, but new to Light O Rama. And as I purchased my controllers and decided to create light shows this Christmas, start late. We all start late, right? We have it in our head that we're going to start this in like July and create these sequences, and it just doesn't happen. And so here I am trying to create a light show for my Christmas lights, and there's just not a lot of information out there. So I want to share some of the tips that I've learned today and over the past few days to help you get started. So let's do that now. I'm on my computer, and again, it's really daunting task when you want to create a light show and you download the Light O Rama software and you think, you know what, wow, it's going to be an app, it's going to be a program. I can easily go in like Apple iMovies and just create something really easily. And then you log in and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 freaking programs. That is not what I want to see when I have never used a software program before and I'm trying to create a spectacular holiday light show and it's December the 6th. Okay, let's take a deep breath. I'm going to share with you some of the tips and techniques that I've learned and just the process, and show you how you can easily test this out yourself. So there's 3 of these that we're going to use in order to get up and running. And that's going to be the Light O Rama sequencer. You are also going to use the show editor, and then you're going to use the schedule editor. And what I did is I just simply dragged and dropped onto my desktop to where I had these. Now I already had those over there, but I did that to show you an easy way just to create that shortcut in the event that you didn't know how to do that. So here's the 3 that we're going to use: the sequencer, the editor, and the scheduler. Out of those 12 programs listed, these are the 3 that we need to get up and running. Again, can't really find this information on Light O Rama's video tutorials and information, so I'm going to share this with you and hopefully it'll help you guys out. So we're going to start with the sequencer, and one of the things that I want to show you is that you can practice by using by importing other people's shows, importing other people's sequences and practicing on those and modifying those in the beginning. That's what I've done. I can't learn how to create my own shows at this point. This late in the game, I want to adapt someone else's sequences to my own, and that's much easier. So Light O Rama actually gives us a free sequence, and you can see the address up here at the top, or you can go to their sequencing page, type in free musical sequence, and it'll take you this. And it's only 20 seconds long. It's called Very Merry Christmas, but it gives you a really good opportunity to practice. When you scroll down at the bottom of the page, you see a link here for the sequence and a link here for the music. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to download the music. So it's playing that again. I'm not used to Windows, but here we go. So we're going to open that. It shows it's ready. So here we go, or MP3. And I'm going to drag this over to this test folder I've created called Test Sequence, just because I think it's a lot easier. Now when I go into the Test Sequence folder, you see here Very Merry Christmas RFM Neo Sounds SN. Like, wow, what is that? So I'm just going to rename this Very Merry Christmas audio file. That's what it is. It's a hell of a lot easier to find than RFM dot whatever. So I'm going to go back here, and now I'm going to download the sequence. So we've downloaded the music, and now let's download the sequence. There's a lot of websites out there that give you free sequences. People are very generous and share the work that they've done, which I think is really nice. All right, so this is the LMS file. Let's just make sure it doesn't look right. Let me make sure one more time. All right, so that is it. So let's move it over to the sequence folder. And then again, look at that file name. Very Merry Christmas RFM Neo Sounds C6P32YCMA. We're going to change this bad boy to Very Merry Christmas sequence. Boom. So now in our test folder, we've got Very Merry Christmas audio file, and we've got Very Merry Christmas sequence. Now that's all we need to get started. You need a sequence and you need an audio file. Whether you purchase that from Light O Rama, you purchase that from somebody else online, or you find a free one. You need the audio file and you need the sequence. And then we're going to start by going to the very first program, which is going to be the Light O Rama sequencer. So once this guy opens up here, you're going to see it says new musical sequence and new animation sequence. The animation sequence is when you're not using music as part of your show. You're just using your lights and whatever animations you've created. So we've got a music file, and we're going to sync this to music. So we're going to create a new musical show, and then we're going to go in, we're going to go to our test sequence. I'm going to need to refresh this. So here we go. Here's my audio file. So that's the first thing I'm looking for, is my audio file. All right. And I don't change any of this right now. Quite honestly, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing with this, but I know it works when you just click create. So we're gonna start there. So we're going to create, and it's going to go through and it's going to load that audio file, and it's already put that in there, which is fantastic. So we've got our audio file, but now we need to load the sequence. So we're going to go to sequence. We're going to go up here, and I'm just going to click open. And then I'm going to go back into that test folder. And then I'm going to find that file. It was already there. I don't know why I just clicked that down at the bottom. But Very Merry Christmas sequence. Again, we renamed it so it would be easy to find. We're going to load that. It's going to come in because apparently they changed in the software from version 4 to version 5. But so it's isolating channels. But if we click next, it will work. The following tracks were found in the sequence. These can be converted. Yes, let's convert those. It's going to give us whatever it did over there. And then it should now have, it's loading. Perfect. So now it has the sequences from that Light O Rama free version. And you can see them lighting up there. The music's playing. I don't have the audio hooked up, but it is playing. It really works. So now that we've got that, what do? Well, we go up here. Let's stop the sequence. And then we're going to go and we're going to export it as LMS, etc. So now I'm going to change it to, we've got our sequence. Very Merry Christmas show, because that's going to be the next thing that we do. So it's going to export that. We have it there saved. I'm just looking through convert to animation. Okay, perfect. So everything is there, and let's just check to see if it's over here. Very Merry Christmas Show. So it's saved. Perfect. So we're going to close out, save changes to the audio file. Sure. Okay, so it's going to save that. It's going to close it out. Now we're going to go over to the next thing, which I mentioned that we're going to need, and that's going to be the show editor. So we're going to open the show editor, and that's the second part of the software program. And this is where we're going to create the show. So you're going to have these sequences. You're going to go through that process of that sequencer for, say, I've got 10 songs and animations that I found online or I've purchased. I'm going to go through that process for all 10 of those. So I'll have a Very Merry Christmas Show. I'll have a Joy to the World, whatever the name of that particular show is. And then when you go into the show editor here, you're just going to simply hit the plus. And this is going to allow you to add a sequence. And so you can go in, it's pulled up the test sequence here, and you'll see here the Very Merry Christmas. This LOR file is the version 5, the version 5 of the software. So you're going to hit that, and you see now that it's added it over here, Very Merry Christmas. And so it's there. It's that simple. So now what we're going to do is you would add in any that you want here, right? And your key thing here is it's under musical, not startup animation. There's some things here that you can research, but again, I'm just helping you get started. So the musical, we go to Very Merry Christmas sequence there, and then we can tell it here when you click that cleanup sequence, where it is. So there's a few ways that you can import that, etc., but you need to tell it where to find that sequence. So it's there, and now it's going to give us the option to save this. So now we're going to save this as, now it's saving it as a type of show. So I'm going to call it Rick's Show. So again, I've only got the one song in there that we did, but you could do however many songs you want in your show. 50, 10, 5, 2, 3, whatever you want. You're going to do that process. You're going to keep hitting the add, and you're going to add it in from that sequencer, from shows that you saved in the sequencer. All right, so we're going to save it as Rick's Show. And now it appears in my file as Rick's Show RSS. So I'm going to click exit, and it's going to close out of that. Now I'm going to go to the third program, which is the Light O Rama schedule editor. And this is where your software is communicating to your Light O Rama box what it is that you want it to do in terms of when to start and end your shows. So I'm going to click add, and then I'm going to hit the button here, and then it's going to pull up. There's my Rick's Show, right? So that's telling it to find my show, and then let's see, it is 12:58. So I'm going to show you how it's going to work. I'm going to give myself a few minutes here to set up my camera to show you, and then I want it to end at 1:04. It's a 20-second sequence, so this will give us an opportunity to see. Today, actually, it's already Sunday. It is almost 1 a.m. That's how much I wanted to help you guys. I was like, wow, there's nothing out there. This took me this long. Let me see if I can help some folks out by posting this. So 1:02 to 1:04. Actually, let's set it to 1:05. I may need a little bit more time to get the camera going here and switch between things. So I've got it set. If you wanted your show to start at 6 p.m. and end at 10 p.m., you would hit 6 p.m., 10 p.m., whatever your schedule is. If you wanted to run all 7 days of the week, you could do that there. Then I'm going to click add, and you can see here it's added it in just for today, for that little bitty period of time. If that was 4 hours, it would be a much bigger block and easier to see, but it is in there. I'm going to hit save. Now this next step, created a little bit difficulty for me, because then what? What do you do now? My show didn't run when I tried that for the first time. I put a time in, I saved it, and then nothing happened when it hit that time. So I found in the Light O Rama instruction information online, it says go to your taskbar and click the red Light O Rama sequencer, and click that, and then go up, right click it, and then go up and hit enable schedule. So we're going to do that. And then now it will go from red to blue. And that blue indicates that it is connected to your box, your controller, and it's going to play. Now the problem is, I got to the step and there was no red icon. There was no pin down here for Light O Rama. I couldn't find it. It wasn't there. It didn't exist. And so what I found worked is, to find that is, I went back over here to these 12 Light O Rama programs, and the one that I went into at that point in order to get it working is I opened the hub. The one here that says the hub, and then I opened the control panel. And so, actually it's telling me I can't even go into that one now. So I just opened up all of these here one by one until it popped up and said, hey, would you like me to add this to your taskbar? And I said, yeah, of course I would. And so now it's going to work. So the hub came up, and when I did this, it prompted me to add that to the taskbar, and then it worked. So now what I'm going to do is, we've got about 3 minutes. I've got some lights hooked in, some test lights hooked into my controller box, and we're just going to flip over back to my camera, and we're going to see if it worked. Okay, so it's 104 now, and I've got it set to schedule at 105. So you can see here, I've got 3 strands of light plugged in as the test, and I have my box down there. I don't have any external speakers. I'm using a Mac Mini to run my show, so I don't have to use my MacBook. I need that for my day-to-day work, and so I'm using a Mac Mini, and I don't have speakers for that. But I do have some headphones here, and I've got it turned up, so hopefully you will be able to hear it. And if all goes as planned, in about 15 seconds now, it should be 105. And if what we did worked, then we will have our very first Light O Rama show playing. And it didn't work. And it didn't work because when I look at my settings here, I had it set from 105 to 107. So let's get out of that. Let's go back into our scheduler. We're going to click it. We're going to click edit. And sure enough, 1:05 p.m. So let's change it to 1:07 a.m. and we're going to end it at 1:08 a.m. We're going to click add. And then an important thing here is we're going to click save to make sure that that saves that. And now we're going to exit out. And we're going to go back and we're going to look and watch again. Now it does show me that on the scheduler, oh, there we go. So there we go. It worked. You can hear the sound coming out of my headphones here, so I know the sound is working. I know the lights worked, and that's awesome. So the box worked, the show ran, etc. So let me switch my camera back around. All right, so congratulations. You have your first show that you can now replicate by downloading other sequences or purchasing sequences that you get online and then creating your own show. I'm not an expert at this. I'll be honest. I'm a smart guy. I teach for a living. I can figure things out with enough time and patience. But this one really perplexed me. It was one of those that I really had to dig through some things to figure out because the software is not intuitive. There is no start here and then go here information sheet. You just sort of have to figure it out on your own, and that's hard to do. So hopefully you'll use this information as a starting point if you're like me and you just really want to get your first show up and running, or just test to make sure that your system is working and that you've got it wired correctly and that they're communicating, the computer is communicating, and that you can get sound, etc. And so hopefully this information has been able to help you do that, and that this is the start for you being able to put on some spectacular light shows. As I learn and grow through the information myself, I'll hopefully post some more videos that maybe you'll find useful. So if you'd like to follow me in my journey through my Light O Rama Christmas lights, feel free to hit the subscribe button, and then you'll be notified when I submit a video regarding it. Happy holidays and good luck with your shows.